Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account, and if you caught the stream yesterday, unfortunately, Thorin has still not got this done. Now, I did let it run for a little bit yesterday, then I came back, let it run for a little bit this morning, but overall, Thorin, we're going to have to look at this cheese and try to get it to work. I'm not even sure how many attempts at this point we have actually had with this formation, but again, we're going to have to look at the adjustments. Now, also today, we do have the patch notes up. Now, there was a lot of questions yesterday when it came to our new light bearers, Adrian and Elise, the Dancers of Endurance. And I want to take a look at them because over on the test server, they've actually been up a couple days. Players got the ability to use the trial version of them because they have been up. Now, of course, tomorrow they're going to be up. Right now, I would probably pause and wait on building them in their entirety, just for the simple fact we're not really seeing them used in very many places. And there is also a new boss that is up, of course, on the test server that is going to be coming up on global. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hop over to the test server. Let's go ahead and get all of our rewards out of here first, because if you can see, Cursed Realm, we were at 5.7. Unfortunately, Nightmare Corridor, we were at 6%. So didn't do too well with this iteration of the Nightmare Corridor, but that is still a significant amount of loot that we got out of there. And then, of course, we have the Voyage of Brutus that is coming up, a couple other things. But let's hop over and take a look at those twins. And it's funny, not so much the twins, but overall, I went through a lot of different places. So looking at our guild hall, and this is really the best indication that you can use when a new hero comes up, is looking at the Cursed Realm and really breaking down the leaderboard. So looking at our first three heroes right now, going through the formations that they're using right now, and if they were very predominant, if they were heroes that were really going to be a game changer to formations. Now, of course, they can be a sub, they can be a niche, they could be, you know, best in slot for possibly one single team. But looking through all of these teams here, we are not seeing them used anywhere. Again, whale accounts, bigger accounts. When a new hero is released, most of the time they're built almost instantly. You can see we have all of the max engraving for almost everybody that is in here. And overall, not seeing a utility or not seeing them used in any formation. Now, a lot of players were also saying, and this is another thing that I heard from a lot of players, is that they were going to replace Queen. That essentially the dancers were going to replace Queen in formations. Even looking here, I don't know if it's the reason of being single target, but the damage amplification boost that they give really would make a difference, I think, on paper. But again, it seems like a lot of players are still using Queen. Even in here with the new hero being released and the whale accounts, we are still seeing a lot of utility out of the current heroes, and unfortunately not a lot of utility when it comes to the newer heroes. I went through and I don't think I found them anywhere that they were being used, or even the trial version was being used in a formation with the boost. Now, of course, remember, with the damage amplification, it could make a big difference, and that was my thought as well as the Nightmare Corridor. Not only do we have Morgana that is up, which is an awesome looking boss, I want to see this hero. You talk about an Awakened hero that would just be an absolute monster. Look at right here. But overall, again, looking through the leaderboard, looking at the boss kills, and I thought that the burst or the damage amplification aspect that they would bring would kind of be in here. But again, I'm not seeing their utility, and I'm not seeing them. Even right there is Eugene, but I'm not seeing them used in any of these formations at all, which again is kind of questioning building them. That's why I would take pause and absolutely just see exactly what we get, see where they're going to be used. It might be a hero ultimately that is going to be and have a lot of utility within the Lightbearer Tower, but we might not see the hero outside of the Lightbearer Tower. And then, of course, we thought of PvP. When you look at the Treasure Scramble, when you look at a couple different things, looking at the Treasure Scramble in the ranking here, again, looking at the top players within the PvP aspect, we are seeing very similar formations than what we have up on Global, and having the ability to have that new hero. Unfortunately, again, we're not seeing the hero. I thought possibly down here with like the Lucius comp, which again, he is making it very prevalent in PvP. He's doing very well. We're starting to see him run a lot more. And again, different buffs, different iterations, things of that nature. But overall, he is being used in here. And I don't know if it has to do with the higher signature item, but again, on these whale accounts that have all of these heroes, all of these beasts built up pretty well, I thought he could possibly even be in here, because we also do have Jerome, which would further buff the light bearers. But overall, we're not seeing them. And again, I went through a couple different players, went through a couple different formations, still not being used. I didn't think PvP was going to be the place that we are going to see the hero being used, but overall, it just seems the effectiveness of the new hero is not really there. So I'm hoping, again, that it might be a pass because, of course, a lot of players said that not only if you built a hero, the hero is going to require a plus 40 signature item to get that damage boost in there as high as possible, which we know as of now, even on global, even on a couple different places, is it's super expensive and we are ultra short on mats. That's one of the big things that when it comes to the materials, when it comes to having all of the resources to actually build out additional signature items, this is where we are completely falling short, is we're not pulling as many out of events. So essentially with the new hero that we have down here, looking at the signature item itself, right here, this effect applies to all allied heroes. That, of course, is that 60% more damage. That is the only way you're going to get it to all heroes instead of just, you know, the backline enemy, the invade, essentially, that goes over there. But now it's going to apply to everyone, which, again, means that it is going to be a very high significant investment in this hero to make this work. Is it worth it? And again, I'm kind of also thinking is when you look at a lot of the formations, the interesting part of that is a lot of the formations only have one damage dealer. When you look at Liberta, when you look at, you know, the awakened version of Belinda, when you look at the awakened version of Athalia, most of them only do have one damage dealer within the formation. So if you're raising the damage of all enemies within the battlefield, if you're running a bunch of support heroes, the damage isn't going to be there anyways. Doesn't make a difference if you're giving them the baseline, if you're giving them the 60% bonus over there. Again, not going to make a huge difference when it comes to actually building them out, because a lot of the heroes, if they're in the support capacity, is not going to make a difference because the damage they're doing is almost negligible anyways. Could boost up, again, one single target, or if you're running multiple heroes, multiple damage dealing heroes in a formation, might work incredibly well. Now, of course, we also do have the awakened version of Lucius. Now, him with this SP effect, and again, we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, but overall, it seems like there are a lot of different places where he is being the best in slot hero, and it is because of the conversion of the abilities that he's getting here that's allowing him to amplify the damage. Again, I know collection-wise, we could buff this up quite a bit just through the collection, especially because the defensive rating and the crit block rating is giving him the ability to amp his damage up. And of course, the defensive collections are much stronger than they are for the offensive side. So again, you could kind of play around with this and see exactly where it's going to work in formations and where you're really going to deal the most damage out of the awakened version of Lucius. Is he a primary to build right now? I would probably say no. He might fall right around the S tier. He might not be that top like SSS tier. But again, we're going to have to see exactly where his utility falls in. Big miss that they had with him is the amount of damage he takes. When you start getting into level deficiencies, if you don't have anything to negate the damage that he takes, he just dies. And unfortunately, he just gets melted, which is funny because Elthus doesn't get melted at all. He's a really solid built tank. When it comes to the awakened version of Lucius, because he's kind of a damage dealer as well, he just gets run over unless you have a way to really protect him. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.